إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. We give thanks to Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, the Lord of existence. We thank Him for making it possible for all of us to be here again today, which is 23rd Jumada al-Ula 1447, after the hijrah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which is equivalent to 14th November 2025. We also ask Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala to bestow His choices of peace and blessings upon the last and the leader of His messengers, Muhammad ibn Abdullah, his household, his companions, and all of those who follow their path to the day of accountability. Inshallah Ta'ala, as usual, we are going to be reading from Al-Ibānah as-Sughrā of Al-Imam Ibn Battah Al-Ukbari rahimahullah. Today, inshallah Ta'ala, we are going to be starting with the narration of Malik Ibn Migwal Al-Kufi rahimahullah. If you have been following us, you would have noticed that for close to 2 or 3 weeks now, or thereabouts, we have been talking about accompanying an innovator, befriending an innovator, the evil associated with accompanying an innovator, sitting with him, befriending him, and listening to him. We are still going to be talking about that. The author dwelled on this issue a lot because of the danger and the evil in it. If you ponder, reflect on the numerous crises that have befallen the Ummah today, that has led to division in the Ummah, one of them is innovation. Innovation and innovators are responsible for most of the crises, most of the fitan, the tribulations that have befallen the Ummah today. The Ummah today is not united, and one of the causes is bid'ah, innovation, and the people of innovation, the followers of innovation. Yes, shirk is one of the causes of division in the Ummah, followed by innovation. Innovation has caused so many problems in the Ummah. That is why the author has always been criticizing, warning, and cautioning against innovation and the people of innovation. Now, قال المؤلف رحمه الله. We're starting from narration number 90 today. The author said, وَقِيلَ لِمَالِكْ ibn Migwal. It was said to Malik ibn Migwal, رَأَيْنَا إِبْنَكَ يَلْعَبُ بِالطُّيُورِ. A group of persons, they came to Malik ibn Migwal al-Kufi, a learned person, and they said to him, رَأَيْنَا إِبْنَكَ يَلْعَبُ بِالطُّيُورِ. We saw your son playing with birds, playing with things that are irrelevant, because he is a scholar, is a learned person. What is expected of the son and daughter of a learned person is that the person should also be what? The child, either a boy or a girl, should also be behaving like a person that comes from the house of knowledge. If you are a girl or a boy, you belong to a house of knowledge, a house that loves the Sunnah, believes in the Sunnah, people will always expect you to be like that. To expect you not to be doing something that is not befitting. So this group of persons, they saw the son of Malik ibn Migwal. They saw him and said, and told the man, the sheikh, رَأَيْنَا إِبْنَكَ يَلْعَبُ بِالطُّيُورِ. We saw your son playing with what? With birds. Or we saw your son playing with tire, running up and down the whole street. We saw him playing with tire, or we saw him without shirt, running up and down, playing ball. We saw him running up and down, playing ball. Or we saw your daughter playing on the street without hijab. What did Malik said? Ibn Migwal, rahimahullah, he said, Habbaza, how excellent is it in shagalathu and suhbati mubtadi'. How excellent is this if it distracts him from accompanying a mubtadi'. If a sin, if irrelevant thing, something that has no reward, distract my son from following an innovator, it is better. Let him be committing that sin. Preoccupy himself with something that is irrelevant, preoccupy himself with something that is sinful, is better than him to do what? To accompany an innovator. Because staying with an innovator will make him to love innovation and also become an innovator. And he may also believe in what the innovator believes in and ends up becoming an innovator. We mentioned it last week. Al-Ibānah ashaddu min al-kabīra. Bid'ah, innovation, is worse than a major sin. This is why Malik ibn Migwal said what he said. Most scholars have stated that innovation is worse than a major sin. Quite all right, it is not befitting for his son to be doing what they saw him doing, but yet he prefers it. For him to be doing that, wandering here and there, playing irrelevant play, it is still better than accompanying, staying with an innovator. Because after kufru, after disbelief, next is what? Is bid'ah. Because the people who are doing bid'ah do not believe that they are doing something bad. They do not believe that they are upon falsehood. So they will not repent. Very few of them will repent. Very few of them. But those who are committing major sins, because they know that they are disobedient ones, so it is hoped that they'll do what? They will repent one day. Now, narration number 90. وقال ابن الشوذب من نعمة الله على الشاب والأعجمي. Ibn al-Shawzab, rahimahullah, in this his own narration, said, min ni'matillahi ala shab, from among the blessings of Allah upon a young person, a youth, a shab, among the blessing of Allah tabarak wa ta'ala upon him, wal ajami, and a non-Arab, Iza tanassaka, when both of them are devoted to worship. Both of them, they love Islam. They love to do Sunnah. They love to worship Allah very well. Iza tanassaka, from the blessing of Allah upon every individual. If anybody that loves to do Islam, ayuwafaqa li sahib as-Sunnah, is that both of them are guided to go and meet a follower of Sunnah. Both of them are guided to a follower of Sunnah. Yahmiluhuma alayha, who will be encouraging them, who will be urging them to do what? To do the Sunnah. If Allah has blessed you, Allah has granted you blessing, guided you to be listening to people of Sunnah, people who will be teaching Sunnah. I know someone who said he is living in Eneka. The person is living in Eneka here in Port Harcourt. He said before coming to Eneka, he cannot differentiate between Ahlul Sunnah and Ahlul Bid'ah. Say he considers all of them to be what? To be Muslim, to be the same thing. So when he started mingling with the people of Sunnah, he realized that there is a very big difference between people of Sunnah and the people of innovation. And he started saying the reality or the realities of the people of innovation. Otherwise, before he came to Eneka, he thought that every Islam that you do, just carry go. Wherever you are, join them and do whatever they are doing. It was when he came around, he started saying that truly there are some misguided people who are claiming to be true Muslims. So among the blessings that Allah has bestowed on an individual is that Allah guides you to Sahib Sunnah, a follower of the Sunnah, who will be encouraging you. Or if you are a person Allah has blessed with a husband who loves the Sunnah very well, consider yourself to be lucky. Not just that he loves the Sunnah, he practices the Sunnah and he invites you to the Sunnah. You should be thankful to Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. The same applies to a woman. So women are the ones that brought their husband to the path of Sunnah. Their husbands were wandering, following every Abu Bakr, Umar and Uthman, every caller, they follow them. But when they married, the husband showed them the way. So Ibn al-Shawzab is telling you and I that from among the blessing of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala on a young man, a youth, and a non-Arab, if they are devoted to Ibadah, they want to live a life of Islam, and wafaqa li sahib as-sunnah yahmiluhuma alayha, is that they are guided, they are aided, they are granted success to begin to follow a person of Sunnah who will encourage them to be doing the Sunnah. Why? لأن الشاب والعجمية يأخذ فيهما ما سبق إليهما. Because you see, a young person, whether a man or a woman, a youth and a non-Arab, they are influenced with the first thing that reaches them. If you are growing up and you grow up in the hands of the people of innovation, unless Allah bestows His mercy upon you, you are finished. You are finished. If you grow up in the hands of the people of Bid'ah, you're gone. Unless Allah showers His mercy upon you. If the first thing that you became influenced with is to be listening to the people of innovations, to be listening to their lectures, to be listening to their talks, and their lectures and their nasiha become something that is inseparable from you. You cannot do without them. Then it will take the mercy of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala on you for you to be guided to follow the people of Sunnah, for you to be guided. The youths, young boys and young girls, if Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala has guided you to be listening to the people of Sunnah, it is indeed a great blessing Allah has bestowed upon you. Most of the youngsters that are seated here, most of these children and youngsters, they are fortunate because except if, which we don't expect, some of their parents are doing small bid'ah in their houses, but not inside the mosque they pray. Most of them, you can see almost all of them are growing up upon the Sunnah. It will be difficult for you to see any child now, any youngster, and you ask the person, we want to celebrate Maulid next week, and they will not tell you it is not Sunnah, it is bid'ah. Because that is what he grew up with. And if the Imam of the Masjid, after Salah, the Imam of the Masjid says, Al-Fatiha, everybody started in Surah Al-Fatiha. You know, the people in the audience will start looking at the Imam, say, what is this person? Is this one Sunnah? The children will be smiling, they will be laughing. Or maybe they said the Imam wants to pray for somebody, and he now says, one of our brother got an accident, or one of our brother had this, that, we want to pray for him. Let's recite Surah to the class 3 times. People, they would just be reacting, behaving as if they are not hearing what he's saying. When he goes for that, say, after Surah to the class, let us recite Surah to Falak and Nas 3 times for the brother too. Most people will not recite it. Almost everybody will not recite inside the masjid because the people they are growing up with what? With Sunnah. And when a child grows up like that, is influenced with the Sunnah, it will be extremely difficult for him to be misguided. So the youth, if you are blessed by Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala to be guided to the Sunnah, guided to people who are preaching. When they want to talk, they say it is a Quran, it is a Sunnah. Apart from that, it is a saying of the Salaf. It's indeed a great blessing because youths, youngsters are being influenced with what reaches them first. Whatever reaches them first. Those people that you see that they are supporting the Mudir of the Markaz, supporting Buhari, supporting, that is Ibn Musa, supporting Jakmal, they grew up with that part, their youthful age. They spent it in that ideology, in the house of Bid'ah. But most time, they hardly change. Most time, they hardly change. Except the one that Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala has bestowed His mercy upon, that will eventually change. Like I mentioned last week, it's just one of them I know in Port Harcourt that eventually change. All of them, all of that ones, they have not changed up to today. I've known them for more than 35 years. More than 35 years, and they are still upon the same bid'ah. But you see, elderly person, most times they are not touched, they are not influenced. If it's upon the truth, if he grows up upon the truth, he will continue upon that. And if he goes upon falsehood, he will continue upon that. Let me put it differently. Sheikh Abdulaziz Araji, he said, what we are saying, that youths, youngsters, whatever reaches them first, they are influenced by that. They will be guided by that in their life. But you see, elderly person, Nasiha don't influence them in most cases. The person is an adult already. He's a married man. He has children. He has grown-up children. In most cases, they are not influenced with Nasiha. In kana ala hakim, if it's upon the truth, istamara ala hakim, it will continue upon the truth. But if it's upon falsehood, it will continue upon falsehood. Let me give you an example. There is someone that whenever he wants to, just like as we are praying Salatul Jama'ah in the masjid now, the muazzin will do iqamah, isn't it? After the azan, the muazzin will do iqamah and will start prayer. After the muazzin has done the iqamah, he will do his own individual one, his own, by himself. I don't know how you are getting it. After the muazzin, as Imam is doing Sawu Sufufakum, Istaqim Rasulul Khalaq, he is doing his own what? He is doing his own iqamah. So that as Imam is doing Allahu Akbar, he will do his own Allahu Akbar. No amount of nasiha, no amount of dalil that will be presented to this our person that he will change. In most cases, since he's upon this falsehood, he will continue with this word, with this falsehood. He will continue upon the falsehood. That is why you see misguided callers, the Christians, and so on and so forth. They have lost hope of the elderly ones. They are not interested in the elderly ones. They focus on the youth. Because youth are easily influenced. But the elderly ones, if they have maintained their position, they have maintained it. They will not change. Now, the next narration from number 92. وقال عمرو ابن قيس الملائي رحمه الله, he said, إذا رأيت الشاب أول ما ينشأ مع أهل السنة والجماعة فرجوه إذا رأيت الشاب أول ما ينشأ مع أهل السنة والجماعة فرجوه. If you see a young boy or a young girl, a young boy and a young girl that is growing up, as he's growing up, is growing up with the people of Sunnah, then have hope for his goodness. For his goodness. In most cases, even if the boy or the girl strays and begins to commit immorality, begins to commit al-fahsha, begins to commit a lot of atrocities, he or she knows that that thing is not good. One day she may come back, or he may come back to the right path. If you see a young boy and a young girl, a youngster in the midst of Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah, listening to their lectures, all the lectures he has been listening to is the lectures of Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah, farjuhu. Have hope for his goodness. Have hope that this person is going to lead a good life. Is going to lead a life of Sunnah. Even if love of this world enters his heart and he begins to chase dunya, he begins to do so many nasty and evil things, there is still hope that he will come back one day to the Sunnah. Because like we said, Al-Ibānah ashaddu min al-kabīrah. Bid'ah is worse than a major sin. As is maybe, for example, there are some young stars I used to know close to 7 and 8 years ago. I know some young stars that they love Islam. They grew up in the midst of Ahlul Sunnah. But today, some of them are musicians. Some of them are musicians. Some of them have entered into the dunya. The dunya has confused them. But they themselves, they know that what they are doing is wrong. So one day, they will likely come back by Allah's permission. So have hope in him. But وَإِذَا رَأَيْتَهُ مَعَ أَهْلِ الْبِدَعِ فَيَأْسْ مِنْهُ. But if you see him, the youth, always with the people of innovation, always with them, then despair, lose hope for him. Do not have hope that this person will not be destroyed with the people of innovation. There is one brother in this Eneka. This brother, most time you see this brother, the brother, if he's with the people of Sunnah, if he comes with them, he preaches what? He will tell you that he's with the people of Sunnah. And most time is with the people of innovation. And that is where it truly belongs. That's where it truly belongs. It was your schoolmate in your school, Unipods and Unipods. When he comes he's talking with you, he talks like somebody who is with you people. But if the people of Bid'ah, they are doing celebration, you see him at the forefront. He will be at the forefront. He doesn't know what he's doing. And today he's with them now. He's fully with them. In fact, he has never left them before. Because he has a lockup. There's a name they gave him among the people there. That some of you don't know that is the name they are calling. If you call him his name that you know, they don't know him there. But if you call him with that lockup, they know him there. It will be difficult for him to leave that part. It will be difficult for him to leave that part. So, he is saying, if you see him, always with the people of Bid'ah. Because don't have hope in such an individual. فَإِنَّ الشَّعْبَ عَلَىٰ أَوَّلِ نُشُوئِهِ. فَإِنَّ الشَّعْبَ عَلَىٰ أَوَّلِ نُشُوئِهِ. Because a youngster, a young boy, a young man, a young lady will be influenced with the first thing he grew up with. His first upbringing. A youngster, a young man, a young girl will be upon what's his first upbringing. The first upbringing is what? Is Bid'ah. It will be difficult for him or her to be outside of the people of innovation. If you raise your son or your daughter, as we are raising our children upon the Aqidah of Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, that is how, by the grace of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, they will remain upon it. Not too long ago, someone came to us and said he wants to start learning. He wants to learn. He wants to learn. In one of the Mus'haf, that the Musab I saw with him, the stamp of Darul Sunnah was on it. So he said when he saw the stamp of Darul Sunnah on it, so his mind became attached to it. So he started asking after the place. He started asking after the place. So I think one of the brothers here guided him to the place. He came and we gave him a young student to be teaching him. This young person, I'm telling you, he was born inside Bid'ah. He was being fed with was Bid'ah. His life was Bid'ah. Everything was what was Bid'ah. So it became extremely difficult to remove the Bid'ah from him. Extremely difficult. He came one day, we were learning. When he wanted to greet us, he was already down. Greeting us, say, Afa, you don't do this here. We don't. This is only done among the people of Bid'ah. You don't do this there. He started justifying it. How can he come in the presence of Alpha and Ustaz that will be guiding him and he will not honor him, he will not respect him? That is not. It's not possible. He has to humble himself before his teacher. He has to respect his teacher. He didn't stop. We overlooked that from him. Then he came up with, to tell you that I'm trying to protest the point that if someone is fed with bid'ah from young age, it will be extremely difficult. So when I discovered that his case is no return, he has reached a point whereby it's only Allah's grace that will save him. I asked him, why didn't we see you last week or was it yesterday? He said, it was during the period of Rabiul Awal, Maulid period. He said, what happened was that on that day, he started thinking, why is it that there is no place they are celebrating Maulid this night? He said, so the first thing he did was that he was telling me. So I concluded that this one, he said there's no place. So the first thing he did, listen, you have not heard, the first thing he did was that he's living close to you people here, close to you Rumuji people here. He said the first thing he did was that he trekked all the way from here to Rumasara to go to the mosque of Gausu. When he got there, the mosque was closed. Normally, what is happening? He look. What will he do? He started thinking of what to do. So the next thing, since he did not see any mosque that was celebrating it, then that T junction there, where the mosque is there, they say there's a T junction there. Before you are going to Rumucholu, there's a T junction there. By that, just in front of the mosque, along the road there. So he decided to do what? He decided to sweep the ground and started doing nafila. Around 12 midnight, started praying. I was just looking at it. Can you as he seated close to me there? Let him not jump upon me because I started looking at it that this one is mad. He started praying around 12 midnight. He collected kettle from the mosque. He did ablution. Started praying. He started praying hard. After prayer, what next? He said he saw somebody selling Indian hemp. He told the person, how far are you selling it or what? The person said he's selling it. So he bought 500 naira. And said to himself, he started praying. He did not stop. He started praying again until almost Fajr period. Started praying. The point I'm trying to make is that he grew up with bid'ah. It will be difficult for you to change his course of direction. It's difficult. Now, the next narration also from Amr. Sheikh Abdulaziz Araji, he brought a lot of kalam, lengthy kalam, concerning the fact that if you are influenced at your tender age, you are influenced with the Aqidah ideology that is not correct, it will be difficult. If you are not guided to scholars who are going to set you right, it will be difficult for you to leave that ideology. He mentioned some great scholars who had that issue, but I don't think we have need for that for our class here today. Now, let's go to the next narration. Narration number 93. Amr again, Ibn Qais said, Inna Shaba la yanshahu, a youngster, similar to what we have been saying, a youngster, young man or young woman, growing up. If he grows up, فَإِنْ آثَرَ أَنْ يُجَالِسَ أَهْلَ الْعِلْمِ, if he gives preference, he prefers to sit with the people of knowledge, كَادَ يَسْلَمْ, is likely to be saved. Is likely to be saved. Someone growing up, a youngster growing up, and فَإِنْ آثَرَ أَنْ يُجَالِسَ أَهْلَ الْعِلْمِ كَادَ يَسْلَمْ, if he prefers to always sit with the people of knowledge, people who are saying, Qala Allahu, Qala Rasul, Qala Sahaba, who are saying, Allah said, the Messenger said, the companion said, if he's used to sitting with this type of people, Kada Yaslam is likely to be saved. وَإِنْ مَالَ إِلَىٰ غَيْرِهِمْ, but if he's inclined, it leans to other than these people, if he inclines to other than these people, inclines to the people of innovation, Kada Ya'tabu is likely to be what? To be destroyed. Is likely to be destroyed. Most of these people that are misguided today, their misguidance started from their young age. Started from their young age. Started from what? Started from their young age. If you get it right now, as the children are being taught the Aqidah of Sunnah al-Jama'ah, being taught the manhaj, being taught all of these things, as they are growing up, it will be difficult for them to slip from such a path. Next, وقال حماد ابن زيد قال لي يونس. Hamad said, Ibn Zayd said, Yunus said to me, Ya Hamad, O Hamad, inni la ara ashaba ala kulli halatin munkara, fala ayas min khayrihi. O Hamad, I see a young star, a young boy, a young man, and a young girl. I see him or her upon evil conditions, all types of evil conditions. I see him smoking. I see him humanizing. I see him singing song. I see him doing this. I see him doing that. I do not lose hope of his goodness. I still have hope that one day he will do what? He may return. Hatta arahu yusahibu sahiba bid'atin fa indaha a'lam annahu qad hatab. Until I see him befriending the people of innovation. I see him befriending who? The people of innovation. Fa indaha, at that time, I know that he is destroyed. Because bid'ah is dangerous. Why was the original place that TCM was there, what led to the division, the separation from those who, was it not bid'ah? It is bid'ah. Bid'ah does not unite. Bid'ah disunites. Most people, if you look at the Muslims who are criticizing each other today, it is because of, majorly, if it's not shirk, it is because of bid'ah. If it's not shirk, it is because of bid'ah. Bid'ah is dangerous. So that's why we need to do what? We need to hit hit it hard, so that anybody that sees bid'ah among us, the person will run away. And we should know how to treat the people of bid'ah. We know how to relate with them, how to treat them. So when I see a youngster, a young boy and a young girl who is upon some misdeeds, doing some misdeeds, I still have hope in him, as Yunus is saying. But when he starts accompanying the people of bid'ah, then I lose hope. I know that this person is actually destroyed. Is completely destroyed. Also indicating that bid'ah is worse than innovation. Sorry, bid'ah is worse than major sin. Al-Ibānah ashaddu min al-kabīrah is worse than a major sin. This is still emphasizing the part, because an innovator will always believe that is upon the right thing, upon what is right, and it is ready. If you go to Allahu Nur, what made that mosque to be divided today is bid'ah. Bid'ah. The people of bid'ah, they are bent on controlling the masjid. Most of the people who were supporting the mosque, they have left the place. They have left the place. One of our own close brother, who was also supporting the imam there, has also left the place, because they thought that the mission he had at that time was to come and take over the masjid. They thought that he wanted to come and take over the masjid. Most of the things that they wanted to do, they were doing this as-salatu. They do it there. The imam used to do it with them. The committee, they had issues. Stop all of this innovation. No way. So most of them left the place. Those who are comfortable with innovation, most of them are still there. Most of them are still there. So if innovation enters a place, there's always what? They want to dominate, because they believe that what? That they are superior to the people of Sunnah. They believe that they are superior to you. If people of innovation come to tie your knot, marriage, in most cases, they don't tie my knot. In most cases. In most cases. Do they even know it? Do they know how to tie knot of marriage? Most cases, except few cases, most cases, they don't know how to tie the knot of marriage. At best, they will say, the husband come here, the father of the bride or the groom, they should come here, or yeah, carry the hand of your daughter, give the man that is married, give him in his hand. So, where are they doing that? Lie. No marriage. And they are particular about making money. They don't know how to tie the knot. Most times. So if you are there, tell the Baba, hey, so you go. This one is not igi. This one is not marriage. Or you carry your father there and say, Ustaz, oh yeah, they have done their own. If we should do our correct one here. Let's do the correct one. That was one of a close boy, a student. Once he was asking me one day, I pitied for him. I felt for him. His wife, after he sat down, he looked at the video of his so-called, the akudu they did for him. He said, yes, the father of the girl was there. My own father was there. Mother, everybody was there. Everybody was there. But I did not see how they tied the marriage. But we are married now. Because he started seeing how the people of Sunnah are tying the knot. Yes, you are the father, you are the wali, you are the one giving out daughter. Who are you giving out? They don't know, they don't tell you. Who are they giving out in marriage? You don't know. As the person accepted it, you don't know. This is a pillar of marriage, fam. So he said, I did not want to answer the question. I had to refer to my own alpha. I said, yeah, Sheikh, somebody is asking this question. What do we do? So the response he gave me, what did I do? I gave it to him back. To bail him out of the situation. To do what? To bail him out of the situation. The people of innovation, they are terrible set of people. They are terrible set. So if you, those youngsters who are planning to marry, tell your wife, your to-be wife, not to go and when you are planning to marry, part of the things you should be telling her, ensure that work on your parents. Some sisters, their Islam, the Sunnah, their Al-Ibānah, or what have you, is only outside. Podele, their parents don't know anything that they are doing. They find they don't talk about Sunnah in their house. So how will this type of person help you to overcome the people of Bid'ah? So you should be telling her how people are going to get correct afa, correct malam that will tie the knot on that day. Not to be talking about, do you like, what kind of type of chair do you like? Say, is it a leather chair or the other type? What kind of, do you like bed? Do you like 6x6 or 6x10 or what are you bed? Most these houses, have you bought washing machine? Have you bought a deep freezer or another? Tell her how you are going to tie the knot first before that particular one. I don't know whether we can take another one again. Oh, is it time? No. Let's take one more. وقال الحسن ما زاد صاحب بدعة عبادة إلا ازداد من الله بعدا. This narration is from Al-Hasan. He said, ما زاد صاحب بدعة عبادة إلا ازداد من الله بعدا. A follower of innovation, an innovator, does not increase in ibadah. The more a Sahib Bidah is increasing in ibadah, the more he is farther away from Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. I don't know that you're getting the point. The more Sahib Bidah, if you see him, there's one young star. Some of us will know him. Let me not say, I've forgotten his name. His bid that he has is 1,000. 1,000 it's here. 1,000. I know it's not from Iwo. I know it's from. His bid is 1,000. He lives around these Limbo Atalias. So his own is 1,000. It's not 100 that people have. 1,000. If you see them doing ibadah, that ibadah they are doing is not bringing them closer to Allah. Rather, it's taking them far away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Mazada sahibu bid'ati ibadata illa izdada min Allah ibuda. A follower of innovation and a mubtadi and innovator does not increase in ibadah except that he increases in being far away from Allah tabarak wa ta'ala. His worship does not, because the more the innovation is doing, the worship are detested to Allah. Allah hates what he is doing. So the more he is doing it, the more Allah hates him. That's the point. Ibadah, we have said it here several times, has two uncompromising conditions. Number one, sincerity to Allah tabarak wa ta'ala. Number two, it must be in conformity with the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If it is not in conformity, then it's not act of worship. It's a waste of time. The more he does ibadah, the more he's farther away from Allah tabarak wa ta'ala. So anybody giving you any nakali, any zikr to do that is not founded upon in the Sunnah, it is not bringing you closer to Allah. Rather, it is taking you far away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Taking you far away from him. Instead of it to bring you closer to Allah. Why is it taking you far away from Allah? Because it is in conformity. It is in contradiction. It contradicts the Quran and the Sunnah. Who has told you to stay with the Quran and Sunnah? So anytime you see people of Bid'ah, they are serious, worshipping Allah as they call it. Some of them, they can be very devoted, very, very devoted. I know one young brother in those days, more than 25 years ago. I know this brother. This brother is from Kogi State. You know, Kogi people, they are the brothers of Yoruba people. Yoruba people colonized them with Bida. This brother used to be very devoted, very devoted. May Allah guide him to Sunnah, very devoted. But unfortunately for this brother, to tell you how devoted they are, if you look at Tank, he lives in Tank. All the way from Tank, he comes to Rumukrushi to come and pray Fajr prayer. From Tank to Rumukrushi Fajr prayer. And he missed the Fajr prayer. He missed the Fajr prayer in Tank. You can imagine how the distance is. The mosque close to Oimid. He comes there to pray his Fajr prayer. But his devotedness was based on bid'ah. The first time I started suspecting him was that as soon as he finishes, because when you see someone that is striving, you too want to say, no, this person should not be more than me. Let me also do better than him. So you stay long doing askar inside the mosque, because he used to stay long very well. Whenever he finishes, what he used to do, we ask him, no answer. He will use his hand. He will draw a circle like this in the front and go back like this. While sitting, and go back like this, front again. From the front to the back, from the back to the front. After he has finished askar, all the thing is reciting. As he's posting his hand, reciting, he says he's fortifying himself with it like this. We don't know what is reciting. Where did you get it in the Sunnah? He will smile, he will leave you, he will not answer you. So then we know that he is a lover of innovation, the follower of innovation. But he was devoted. But we should not be deceived by this their Ibānah they are doing. What it is doing, later his reality became known. His reality became known because he told me that he went to Zaria one time like that to go and look for power. And he got power from one woman there in Zaria. You know, he needs power. And eventually got it. So you know that this one is far away from the path. May Allah Ta'ala guide him aright. So we are going to leave it here today, inshallah Ta'ala. Next week, we are going to be looking at narration number 96. Ibn Aoun. He will be telling us about al-mujtahidu fil ibadati ma'al hawa. Just this one I'm talking about now. The brother was a mujtahid. At that time that I know him. Someone who is striving hard in ibadah, ma'al hawa. But with what? Innovation. Some of them can stay after Fajr till sunrise, and what they are doing is what? The askar they are doing is bid'ah. The askar is what? Is bid'ah. They can do that. So we'll continue from there, inshallah ta'ala, next week. We ask Allah tabarak wa ta'ala to make the date we have said today better understood, or have said it. Allah tabarak wa ta'ala make it a point of benefit for all of us in this life and on the day of Al-Qiyamah. From this note, I say, Subhanakallahumma bihamdika, shalla la ilaha illa ant, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.